everybody, this is Nance Regold Micabani, a first-year BS in Accountancy student.
Hello, good morning. I am Alberto S. Posadas. I am the Program Chair of Accountancy at LPU Davao.
And this is OG Takes by LPU Davao. Alright, so welcome everybody. Today we are very privileged to be graced by the presence of our newly declared or the newly labeled Program Chair of Bachelor of Science in Accountancy of LPU Davao. And here with us today is Sir Posadas. Sir, how are you today?
I'm fine. It's a great opportunity to be here and to be involved in this kind of activity, and we look forward to positive activity for this.
Alright, that is true. So understanding that Sir Posadas is a new part of the LPU family, we are here today to ask him several questions so that we can get to know him better. Okay, so
yes.
Are we ready for some interviews, sir?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Alright, so first and foremost, for us to have a quick background of your life, sir, can you introduce yourself to us?
Oh, yes. I am from Calamansig, Sultan Kudarat. That is the farthest province here in the Philippines, in South. I took up my Bachelor of Science in Commerce, major in Accounting, at Notre Dame University in Cotabato City. I was a full-fledged scholar at that time under the Masika Scholarship Program. Then I took some jobs here in Davao. Then I started my work in Marksman & Company. I was assigned in Manila, Makati office. Then during that time, I pursued my Master's in Business Administration, and I was also the scholar of Marsman Foundation's scholarship program. I took it up in Colegio de San Juan de Letran in Intramuros, Manila. Then some journey on another companies for the job while I was still in Makati office. I also took up my Bachelor's of Law degree under the Arellano University School of Law. Then I completed it at Philippine Law School, also in Manila. And I took up also later, I went back here in Davao. Priorly I was employed also, or I also handled some teaching profession in one of the schools here in Davao.
Alright, so just by listening to Sir Posadas' life story when he was still taking up his studies for his Master's in Business Administration and other sort of occupation, he really values education as well. And as for everybody's information, one of the greatest attributes as a Laurelian is taken from Jose P. Laurel himself, as he envisions himself as a great educator because he values education as well. So it's really evident, sir, you will become a part of the Laurel family as well. Alright, so thank you for that, sir. So now, as what I've read from your profile, you have the titles as MBA, CPA, and a Juris Doctor. So how was the journey becoming or taking those or receiving those titles? Was it difficult? I mean, it would be very difficult, of course, but how was it?
The journey of attaining all those courses one is it's interesting. At the same time, it is very challenging because, as you could see, I've been taking all those courses while I was working. So I'm a working student throughout. Now, it's a matter of discipline for you as an employee to also pursue your other higher education courses. Like when I was taking up law, I was assigned in Balayan, Batangas at the time, and I was the school is in Manila. So it takes a lot of sacrifice on my part because while still working there during the week, I have to study my lessons and read the books. And then by Saturday morning, I have to go down to Manila for the classes. Second is that it takes a lot of discipline on your part, especially for if you have that goal and ambition, you have to sacrifice a lot in terms of other conveniences in life. Like say, you pursue more on reading than doing some extracurricular activities during weekends.
That's true.
That's because our class schedule at that time is Saturday, Sunday. So I got no more spare time for some leisure time.
I love how Sir Posadas really emphasized discipline, not only in our part, but at most part in our life as well. I really do agree that discipline is very essential, especially as a working student during that time. And I believe many of us would relate to that because a lot of students right now are taking part-time jobs, such as online jobs, because it's pandemic and still we need to find resources or find sources for our financial needs. So it's really relatable. Even I myself works and at the same time study. So it's very relatable, and I love how he emphasized discipline again. So, sir, as what were the difficulties or what were the difficult parts during, aside from that part where you work and then you study, what were the other things like academic-wise? What were the difficulties when it comes to taking up those courses?
Well, yes, Lance. One is the difficulty in elevating yourself to the standards of the professor and the school. Now, as we said, we emphasize again the discipline because the professors there in the college block are really, they are law practitioners and they are very strict, so to speak, to stick to the standards of the school.
Yeah.
Especially on assignments, especially on reading, and that's really challenging, and you have to level up yourself to what the professors are expecting of you.
Just by imagining how difficult student life is back then, like you need to follow the standards of the school, you need to follow by the precepts set by the school, and even the what your professors are expecting from you. That is very pressure on that's a great pressure on our part as students. But good thing is that here in LPU Davao, the school is lenient, but not too lenient that they would not take care of the students. Our teachers here are very understanding. Our program chairs right here, like for Sir Posadas, will totally give us hoping, not a hard time, as our program chair. But I do believe that everybody here in LPU Davao, the administration, the faculty, are very understanding, and that would totally help our students as well. And right now, hearing from Sir Posadas, he would totally give us an easy time as well in our course. Cross fingers for the accountancy students. Alright, sir, so just by listening to that, because once I heard that you're a juris doctor, that's the first time I've heard of that label. Like, wow, what is a juris doctor? So that's what I was intimidated at first. But now meeting you, you're very chill, and I already know that accountancy would be easier with your presence. But what are the things that we should be expecting from you, from as accounting students?
Well, as I would relate what Dr. Phil, Dr. MGB mentioned to me when he interviewed me. He said that the challenge here for me, especially for the BSA students, to raise the level of the passing rate, which should be more than the national passing rate for CPA examinations. He told me you try also to evaluate if some of the courses or the subjects that you are giving here are really relevant to meet the standards or to meet the main focus of the CPA examinations. I took that as a very big challenge also. So, and I said, yes, we'll try to develop it as we can, and in accordance with also with the CHED requirements, of course, and also with the guidance of our academic head, Dr. Bellini. So that would be what we could, that could be some sort of a framework that we could work on here. Also with we would like also to solicit the inputs of the students, because they are the ones involved, and whether it could be accessible to them or it's relevant to their education also and to the course that they are taking. So if we have to, target natin, mas mataas pa daw kaysa national passing percentage. I think with the standards of LPU and the professors and the guidance of our head, I think we could handle, kaya natin ma-achieve yun. And most likely, Lance, with the students like you, who are pursuing the studies with great importance. Diba? So I think we could handle that. We could achieve that.
That gave me a sigh of relief. Like, thank you. Because
Yes.
I understand how difficult it is to take up BS in accountancy. Like, I love how you said that you're going to consolidate the inputs of the students so that
Yes,
we could
yes.
know
We will.
where we are currently in the lesson. That's really important for me because during senior high school, I am not into STEM. I'm not into UMS. I was a tech box student. I'm an animation NC2 and NC3 passer. So I had no idea what's inside for me for like unlike ABM student. And then I took up CPA. I took up BSA. It was difficult, alright? But because of LPU Davao, just like what you said, sir, with the help of the faculty, the head, it became easier for me. But now, hearing your plan and seeing and hearing those expectations from you, I think it would become easier for our BS in accountancy students. So for those who are trying to enroll accountancy, LPU Davao is a must choice, having this kind of planner for us, or like our program chair. So are there any tips that you want to share to our future students that would take up BSA or for our future CPA takers, sir?
Well, perhaps one of the tips that I could give Lance is basically it is common sense, okay? And second, you input also the accounting equation, and it is similar to algebra. You see, those are the basic. Like for example, it's the double entry bookkeeping that we are using. That could be the basic of all those accounting problems. Because the higher accounting problems, those are all. Some are specialized on financial statements, some are specialized on partnerships and corporations. But the basic ones are the double entry bookkeeping. Those are really the source of all this framework and of all these courses going up. Going up would be something like on the internal audit, and then auditing problems and auditing theory. And then we have some taxation laws. Those are included in the CPA board exams. And the last one will be the management services.
Alright, so those are great tips that we always need to take note so that we can endure when we take Bachelor of Science in Accountancy. So thank you so much for raising our OG takes today, sir. Alright, sir, so for one last curiosity from our audience, probably is that when you are trying to take up law in the future, why is it recommended to take Bachelor of Science in Accountancy first as your pre-course or like?
Oh yes, Lance is like this. The accounting course is some sort of a stepping stone to pursue a law degree. Especially in the College of Law, the foundations would be on the business courses, because when you practice law, especially if you are there in court, it emanates usually from a business transaction.
That's true.
Except of course the criminal law. But for most cases, it involves commercial laws, and commercial laws have a root or have a foundation in the accounting profession as a business course nga. So we started with, in our accountancy, we started with obligation and contracts, and that goes to commercial laws, and it goes to some other special laws.
Yeah.
In court cases, those are mostly the nature of the cases that you have to resolve in court.
Now, that's also a question for my part. Now I understand how being an accountant and being a lawyer connects to each other. Thank you so much, sir. Alright, so I think that's basically our OG takes for today. Thank you so much, sir, for gracing our activity. Nice to meet you. And again, this is Nance Regold Micabani from BS in Accountancy.
And this is Professor Posadas, the Program Chair of Accountancy at LPU Davao.
And this is OG Takes by LPU Davao. Alright, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, sir.